Hey everyone! This time on Tim Talks Audio, we get a chance to unbox the ioStation 24C from Presonus. So, my friends over at Presonus were nice enough to send over one of the new ioStation 24Cs. This is a control surface and interface all wrapped into one. We get a chance to open one up and see what comes inside the box. Once I have it in my hands, I'll give you an idea on how it feels. This way, if you're curious about maybe getting something like this for your show or your recording studio or something to take with you on the road, this will kind of give you an idea if it's going to be right for you. So, let's get in the box. And here it is. Nice size box for a good size unit. But we don't want to take a look at the box. We want to see the stuff that's inside. Let's go ahead and open this guy up. So, of course, on top, you get your instructions and some nice little rubber feet to add onto it. You got a USB-C to USB-C cable. You also get a USB-C to USB-A cable. So if you don't have a USB-C port on your machine, they also supply a USB-A cable for you as well. In here is your power adapter, which of course you're going to need, and it comes with all the different adapters for wherever you are in the world. And last but not least is the ioStation itself. Now, you can see this is a little bit more than just one of the box tops units that you would get from Presonus, something like the Audio Box 96. This is a little bit more because it's an entire control surface as well. It's got a single fader, an entire transport section, and a lot of these things you'll see are very similar to what you'll find on the fader ports, whether it be the Solo, the 8, or the 16. But the difference is it's also an interface as well. So let's get it out of the plastic. So here it is outside of the plastic, and you'll see a lot of the familiar things that you'll find on any of the fader ports that are out there. A single 100mm motorized fader, transport controls, the big knob, and on the top and bottom of the big knob that's in the center is two different banks of 8 buttons, each with their own secondary function. Now, these are a little different from what you'll find in the fader port, but we'll get into what a bunch of these do. Then on the right side of the unit, you'll find where the interface comes into play. The first two controls are the gain for inputs 1 and 2. Then you'll notice that there's a line button and a 48-volt phantom power switch. Underneath that, you'll have 3 more controls. The first one is where you can select what you're listening to, whether it be 100% playback or 100% direct input monitoring. Underneath that one is your headphone volume control, and underneath that is your mains volume control. And then all the way on bottom is a master mute for the mains. Moving to the top of the unit is where you'll find your XLR 1/4-inch combo jack inputs, a pair of 1/4-inch outputs, headphone outs, foot switch, power adapter input, USB-C output to your machine, and the power switch for the unit itself. So now that we've taken a look at the entire unit itself, let's get it hooked up to the machine and see what we can do. Okay, so we have the unit powered on. Let's take a quick look at all of the different buttons that were available and the secondary functions that they have. This will be a quick overview, so go ahead and read the manual when you do get one of these to find out a little bit more. I'm just going to show you where everything is. So starting with the top, as our primary functions, solo, mute, arm, and our shift key, followed by bypass, touch automation mode, write automation mode, and read automation mode. Then our secondaries are solo clear, mute clear, arm all, bypass all, latch automation mode, trim automation mode, and automation off. And you get to any one of these secondaries just by pressing the shift key. This will put it into selecting your secondary options. Then underneath the rotary knob in the center, you have link, pan, channel, scroll, master, click track on and off, selection, and marker. Then your secondaries are lock, flip, lock, zoom, and then user functions here, 1 through 4, where you can go in and assign custom keys or macros that you want to have readily accessible. Then underneath all of that are your transport controls, and these are things that you will find on a fader port. Stop, loop, rewind, fast forward. Pressing these two together will return to 0. Record, and your big play pause button. Now let's define some of the interface options that we had. We went over the controls and we have our input gains for 1 and 2 up on top. Underneath that is the line button. And what this will do is change the inputs of 1 and 2 together to accept a line level input. If it's not engaged, it'll be looking for instrument level input. Right now it's not engaged, so it's looking for an instrument high impedance input. If I push this button on, it is now ready for a line level input, something from like a synthesizer or any other piece of gear that gives you a line level out. If you're just going to plug an electric guitar in, you'll want to turn this off, and now your ioStation will better accept that high impedance signal. Then you have a banked 48 volt phantom power. I quickly threw a little track together. It's nothing fancy, but it shows you some of the things you can do with the ioStation 24. It's just guitars and bass for now, and I used a VSTI, the Steven Slate Drums 5.5, just to put this little track together so you can hear what's going on. Other than the drums, I'm just using my instruments and a couple instances of Ampire to get the sounds I was kind of going for. Here it is. So there you go. That's just a couple little things going into the ioStation 24C. I'm going to do a follow-up video where I take this and I do some acoustic guitars with some vocals. Perhaps I'll pull in a couple friends. We'll kind of play around with this and can really show you what the pre's on this interface can do for you. If you've ever used something like the FaderPort 8 or 16 or the FaderPort Solo, but the newer version of it, you'll feel right at home with the ioStation 24C. A lot of it feels exactly the same. Plus it has the added benefit of having 2 inputs with it. This is going to be great if you're looking for something to throw into your bag. This way you can quickly do some production work while you're either not at home, on the road, or you just have limited space in your studio. This is also going to be really good for the podcasters out there. If you have a small show that you need to go on location for, maybe for interviews, you can take this with you and you have your interface and control surface built right into the same unit. That's all for now. If you found anything informative, please like and share the video. For more, visit timflansbaum.com, and if you have a question, ask it in the comments and I'll answer it in a future video. Thanks for watching.